Well, good Tuesday evening and welcome to CV Weatherfront. This is our weekly web weather series that's going on every week. We're going to go ahead and start this up back again. So we had a little bit of a break due to all the holiday that happened and, of course, all the, just holiday stuff that went on. And so now we're going to resume that. So, of course, here we're starting, this is season two, episode 1. Going on into the next several days. So definitely very hot outside today. We got up to 80 degrees for us here in San Angelo. We're going to start off with the weather briefing for us here across the Concho Valley. Our high today got up to 82 degrees. So our average temperature around this time of year is supposed to be around 59. Joey, if you could take this full screen there. So, of course, that record was set in 1971. We actually tied that high temperature record for us here in San Angelo today because we got up to 82. Our low was 41. But, Aaron, look at that record low, 1944. We got down to 1 degree. Just 1 degree here in San Angelo. So definitely, I wasn't here for that. Yeah, I wasn't either. So I mean, I'm kind of glad I wasn't because it's one of those things where you kind of have to. I don't think I've ever been in weather that cold. For us. I've been in some single-digit weather from North Alabama. That's true. But, yeah, you have. I think there was once I was in Mississippi, and then we went up to. I think it got down to like 5. But that was the coldest that I've seen. So looking at our January so far for us here in the Concho Valley, this is going to show us a calendar outlook that what we've seen. We've seen those high temperature ranges as that graphic would really hurry up and play there. We're having some little bit of issues with our weather system. Hopefully that graphic will come to light there. So we've had several days where we've seen above average temperatures here. So of course we've only had 2 days. Actually, 2 days where those temperatures were below normal, and all the rest of January has been abnormally hot. Our normal high for us here in San Angelo is supposed to be around 59 degrees, but we've seen temperatures surpass that in the mid-60s, upper 60s, 70s, and then as of today, got up into the 80s, not feeling much like January. We only had 1 day, which was January 3rd, where it got up to 59, which was, that's what we're supposed to be seeing, but still dealing with warm conditions for us here in the Concho Valley, for us here in San Angelo. But going into our extended futurecast, the good news here is that we are under that extended, we are under that moderate drought for us here as we go into, so any rain that we are going to see is definitely going to be somewhat of a godsend for us because we are needing that rain. And I'm going to go ahead and step off to the desk here to see what's going on with our system because we are dealing with a little bit of an issue here with our system here. So Aaron, do you want to talk about what you've seen or what's going on? So yeah, we're tracking the 3 fronts. We've got 3 upcoming fronts in the next 7 days here. So the one that we're watching really closely is the one that's coming in on Friday into Saturday, correct? Right. Well, we have that initial front that's coming in Friday and Thursday. Well, Wednesday into Thursday. That's what's going to cause those rainy conditions for us here across the Concho Valley as we head into Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So we can anticipate more of those widespread rain chances starting to increase Thursday, starting on Wednesday as that front comes. Like I said, I was seeing this in the newscast, but we are seeing that that front's going to come through the Concho Valley and then it's going to stall just south of us. And so we're going to have that moisture just remain in the area all the way until Friday there. And then as that cold front moves out of the way, then that reinforcing cold front comes into the picture for Saturday, bringing some sunny skies, highs in the low 60s as we go into the weekend there, but then more rain chances. And I know I'm showing that we kind of have to look, we have to take that as a grain of salt. I know you're seeing that frozen weather potential for winter precip for us here in the Concho Valley, but of course those models are too far out for us to determine exactly what's going to happen on Monday and Tuesday of next week there. So we have to kind of keep an eye on that. Aaron, did you see any, I know when you were this past weekend, did you see anything that regarding this system? Over the weekend, I didn't see anything wintry precipitation-wise, but that goes to show that these models are ever changing. They're always updating, and we're always getting new information. And a lot of times they tend to flip-flop from run to run, and so it's just how does the model take in the data and interpret that into a forecast as we go throughout the next several hours and several days? That's true. And so when we look at that rainfall potential, what we're supposed to be expecting in terms of rainfall, this is our RPM model, our in-house model here, and it looks to me that for the next several days, all the way through Thursday at 4 p.m., we're going to expect to see most of this heavy rain in our western counties, stretching all the way from Sterling City all the way down to Azona, and we can expect to see an 1.5 inches to about 2 inches of rain for portions of Crockett County, and the rest of the area, and you'll see, I think it ranges from 0.5 to 1.5 inches. That's that blue area that you see, so it's just to the west of San Angelo, but we could very well see a lot of widespread rain Thursday into Friday with an occasional thunderstorm, but this is good news because we are in the need of this rain there. In the rest of the area, getting up to about a 1/2 inch of rain, about a 0.1 to 1/2 inch in terms of that rainfall potential there.
And again, this is a model suggestion, and again, this is one of those things, again, that changes with time and new information that comes in.
That's true, and I have to say, like, within the past couple of days, they have been agreeing that we are going to see some significant rainfall for Thursday into Friday going into the end of this week here. So we're going to go ahead in terms of that. I think that's what, in terms of rainfall potential, we're going to go ahead and kind of take a turn here in terms of our the other side of the world in terms of, so Joe, if you could get it back to us here, is that we are going to somehow theme this a certain way because, of course, you've heard about this in the news all across for the past several months, is the Australian wildfires that's going on, you know, just in the southern hemisphere. So they're dealing with some very catastrophic fires all across the continent of Australia, very hot conditions, and haven't really received any rain there. So if you look behind me here, you're seeing a lot of those fire reports that you see here all throughout the coast, in and around Sydney, which is one of the biggest areas into the southeastern portions of Australia. And I know, Aaron, you actually got this data. So what did you find in terms of that?
Okay, so this is the past 48 hours, and what they're doing here is NASA has orbiting satellites around the Earth that can detect certain things, and one of the things that they can detect are hotspots, and those are typically with fires, and what they can do is do algorithms and pull out the hotspots where they see burning fires in Australia, and this is the data from the satellite that's orbiting over Australia right now, and it's picking up the hotspots over the past 48 hours, so quite a few hotspots there. You know, hundreds of fires still burning in Australia right now.
And so, Joe, if you could bring it back on us again, I know it was really interesting because about like a few days ago, they had a lot of rainfall actually for portions of like from Sydney all the way to Brisbane. Sydney to all the way to Brisbane. I know it's pronounced a certain way. But I know that rainfall is, people would think that it would actually help the situation, but it actually is causing some problems in terms of fighting those fires and getting those fires under control. So, I mean, it's like almost like there's no really good relief in store for us because that rainfall is actually disrupting the wildfire efforts. Because, of course, there's, if you know anything about wildfires, you know there's a certain technique that they use to try to put them out, and they end up burning a certain area. And so those areas that are those pre-burned areas to try to prevent it from spreading. I know we see that here in the Concho Valley where they end up like burning the controlled burns. There's the word for it. They have the controlled burns. So when they do those controlled burns, they end up burning a certain area to try to prevent it from spreading, but that rain was putting out those controlled burns. And so that was one of the things that it was causing some significant problems for portions of Australia and southeastern Australia in terms of fighting those fires. So of course, we all know here is that when it comes to like the wildlife there, I mean, the wildlife, when it comes to, you know, when you look at the evolution of how biology formed, a lot of those species in this continent is one of those things where it only exists in Australia. There's a lot of very unique species of animals and wildlife that only exist here. And so, of course, I think, what do they say, about 2 billion or about 1 billion animals that have perished in these fires. So it's one of those very horrible things that's going on here, and there's always those relief efforts to try to prevent that from spreading and to try to help mitigate those animals from you know, so you've seen those koalas. But looking at the Australia Fire Danger Index, and so Aaron, I know if you saw this here, this was for the past several years here, right? So this is the index points per decade. And so now it looks to me that it seems that we're like in the surplus. Do you know anything about?
So it's just, we've been looking at really dry conditions across Australia here over the past several years. This is a trend from 1978 to 2017.
Okay.
So even over the past couple of years, things have been fairly dry here across Australia. There's been a lot of droughts in the past couple of years. And so you just have really dry conditions that lead to you know, kindling for fires.
Right. And so it looks to me that, like, you know, you're seeing this fire danger index. So you see those dark red colors, like those like plus 300, plus 400. That's like, I guess, I mean, within the past several decades, that's the increase of the fire danger risk that they're seeing. And we're able to actually see, if you compare this map to the one that was like that we showed you before this one, I think, was it right before?
Yes.
Yeah, so look right there. So you see those fires that are happening in the western portions of the continent, and then you see those darker colors in this fire danger index. It seems to me that this is actually playing out, and like, you know, there's a correlation in these two maps here that you're seeing, where you see those dark red fire danger index of plus 400. That's where you're seeing these wildfires all across the continent there. And so looking at the summer heat of what we're expecting to see, this is from Climate Central, so this is climatological data from 1911, and of course that trend here, this is data that's been tracking for the past several years, about several hundred years. You're seeing that increase of that summertime heating, which is their summertime is December, January, February. So they're in summer because they're in the southern continent, and you're able to see that very sharp increase in temperatures for their summertime heating for portions of Australia there. So they're definitely dealing with some very dangerous situation over there, and of course they need all the relief efforts that we could get for the continent there. But of course this is something that's important for us to realize, because we deal with the similar threat for us here in West Texas. We deal with that fire weather threat. So, you know, wildfire pollution, this can very well affect us, because we see wildfires here all the time, and you know, it actually causes some harmful effects to your health. And so, you know, when I think they had a wildfire in Crockett County yesterday.
Yes.
I think it was a 700-acre Crockett County wildfire that happened yesterday. They got it under control, but when there's wildfires in the area, you end up having eye, lung, throat irritation. You have, this can contribute to heart disease, which of course, or actually if you do have heart disease, the effects of it is worsened from these wildfire effects. And of course, anybody with asthma attacks or breathing problems, it could cause asthma, and of course it could cause those asthma attacks if they're breathing in all that smoke. And of course, here it says this could eventually cause premature death. And so looking at that situation, now we have video from this particular incident. So of course, there's this koala. Those koalas are being burned. They're trying to nurse it back to health there. And so there's a lot of relief efforts to trying to preserve the wildlife all across the continent there. And so it looks to me that you have those kangaroos, and these animals are actually coming up to people and trying to drink water and trying to find food to eat all across the area there. So look at this woman here. She's just cooling off the kangaroo, and I think that's a wallaby. I think they're a little bit smaller. I think that's a wallaby. I think wallabies are actually a little bit smaller than the big kangaroos there. But I mean, look, he's looking off that moisture. There's desperate need of water. You know, they're in desperate need of trying to just help the situation to try to prevent those wildfires from damaging even more health. So look at those. Okay, there's a couple of, I thought that was a fox or something, but like, oh, they're like, you know, they're like teaming up together. And so look, this is the Sydney Opera House. I mean, this is a very good site because they have all of those, they've illuminated the Sydney Opera House, which is a very iconic world icon and landmark. So they've illuminated that. That's a very good sight to see, of course, of all those firefighters on the side of the Sydney Opera House there. Did you have something to say?
Yes, I was just going to say, I think it's really neat that the people of Australia are really helping out with the animals there, and they realize that the animals are going through the same situation that they're going through, and they're having the same struggles. That's true. Yeah, so it's one of those things. Of course, I think there was a video footage of American firefighters that went off to land. They landed, and of course, they were met with applause. There are firefighters from all around the world that are Australia, right? And so they're in very thankful need. And so, you know, it doesn't. I mean, Australia is extremely far away on the other side of the world for us here in the States. But if you do have any, there's ways for you to help. Absolutely. So one of the cool things is that there's local businesses here in San Angelo that's actually contributing to the relief efforts for these animals there. And so, of course, you've probably heard about this in the KSAN News at 5 and 6, but Maximus Nutrition, which I know there's a location on Knickerbocker, I'm not sure what the other location is, they're actually donating animal supplies
to the relief efforts in Australia. And I believe that you can get a free smoothie out of this because they sell smoothies there. So if you there's these animal supplies, there's certain supplies that you can donate. If you go on to the ConchoValleyHomepage.com to look at these the story, I believe it was from was Victor Glenn or who did this? Oh, it's Shelby. Shelby shot that.
Our photographer.
Sorry. Yeah, our photographer. Yeah, so she went ahead and interviewed the owner of Maximus Nutrition, and so there's a list of objects that you can donate. And you donate these items, you get a free smoothie from Maximus Nutrition. That's also really good.
They're crafted items for animals that need them to help heal and to help regain their strength, and just to get warmth while they're going through that healing process.
Right, and so also too, Ellen DeGeneres, which airs on KSAN, they end up, she's doing a GoFundMe. I think her goal is to raise $5 million in relief efforts to donate to this cause here. And so you can always go and donate to the GoFundMe cause. And there's several GoFundMes. Of course, be very wary of which ones you donate to, because of course there's a lot of scams out there.
Yes, there are.
So be very, very vigilant on which organizations you donate to. But I know that these two ones that we've noticed here, of course, Maximus Nutrition, that's off of Knickerbocker Road. You can donate animal supplies, and of course Ellen DeGeneres. She always spreads kindness in the world, and that's what she's doing, is contributing to the GoFundMe for that too. So there's several organizations, like the American Red Cross, Salvation Army, but we do have local businesses.
And again,
here.
you can find the information on Maximus Nutrition on ConchoValleyHomepage.com. All the information, all the details are in an article on our website.
That's true. Okay, so our next thing that we want to go ahead, and so of course one of the things that we do here, just a reminder, is that we always talk about weather events that happen around the world, and so that's one of the things that we focus on. We don't just focus on here in the Concho Valley. We want to focus on other events that's happening worldwide or other around the nation. But one of the cool things is that there is a volcano that has erupted in the Philippines, and so this video footage here is a volcano erupting. And look at this. Look at this lightning show. People don't know this. Well, I'm sure people do know this, but look at this impressive lightning that is coming from this volcano that's erupting right near Manila there. So very impressive lightning. This is actually causing people to evacuate the area. Very dangerous situation. I believe, but I'm not sure what mountain this is. Do you know which one it is?
I'm not really sure which one it is, but it is one of the islands in the Philippines.
Okay.
And there have been tens of thousands of people evacuated from the area, and there's been more than 350 volcanic earthquakes since Sunday.
Wow.
So this thing it's not done yet, it's not over with, and this could go on for a while, experts say.
Right,
So.
and it seems like a lot of seismic things are happening around the world. You have that that's going on in the Philippines, and you have the earthquakes in Puerto Rico that's like not too far from here, that they were devastated by a 6-point-something earthquake there.
Right.
But of course, about a few days ago, we held...
Look at the ash going
Oh yeah,
up.
there's this video, yeah. There's like, that's the ash coming out from that. Like, it's a lot of ash. Of course, that's hazardous to the health. That of course can prevent planes from flying.
Yes,
That has a... Go ahead.
They had some issues with airplanes being grounded, and like 80,000 something passengers were, had flights canceled or delayed.
Well, look at that lightning again.
I know.
It's just like an impressive lightning storm. And if you notice, it's coming out from like the surface of the volcano and shooting upwards. A very good sight to see there, a very impressive sight. But of course, this natural phenomenon is causing people to evacuate. You're seeing some people are desperate for water. It's causing a little bit of a humanitarian crisis that's going on over there. You're seeing all that mud, all that ash that's all over those vehicles and all over those people. So a very kind of dire situation for portions of the Philippines as they try to get out of that volcano's way for those folks in that part of the world there. And look at all those children, all those families are just trying to get out the way. You see them, like all that ash, and it's very hazardous to your health. For if you are in a volcano, then we have a lot of volcano risk here in the States. We have Mount St. Helens that have erupted, and then we have several volcanoes that could potentially erupt here. But if something big enough does happen, this is kind of a situation where you have to get out of harm's way and causes a humanitarian crisis there. But going on into our next situation, we dealt with severe weather all across Texas about a few days ago with our last weather system. And so, actually right now, Mississippi is dealing with somewhat of a dam failure, imminent dam failure that's in place for portions of Mississippi.
We're talking about a water dam, by the way.
Yeah, so there's a, this is actually in Oktibbeha County. This is near Starkville, Mississippi, near the Mississippi State campus there. There is a dam that's there that's on the verge of failing because there's been so much rain with this particular lake there. And so that's actually, with this particular situation, this very well could flood 150 to about 200 houses in and around northeast Mississippi and right in around that area there. So this is something that's kind of a bad situation for those folks up there, because they even though we haven't had really too much rain here in Texas, well, in West Texas, they've been dealing with tons of rain in Mississippi and portions of the Deep South for those folks out there in that area. So they're dealing with that right now. There's been evacuations. There's actually a flood emergency ongoing at the moment because this dam is on the verge of failing for in northeast Mississippi in Oktibbeha County, just near just right outside of Starkville. And they said that if this does break, this will flood the entire up to about 20-something square miles, from what I understand. So this is actually, if there is a flooding from this dam failure, there could be a flooding area bigger than the city of Starkville, which is in that county. So very bad situation for people in Mississippi dealing with all that rain, too much rain. But other locations, in Alabama, they were dealing with some tornado footage that ended up happening there. But a couple of days ago, there was confirmed tornadoes. Joe, if you can go on to the next video. Is there another video? Is that the last one?
There we go. There's drone footage from Pickens County, Alabama.
Right, and yeah, Pickens County, Alabama. Did you want to go?
Yeah, sure, I'll take over. And this will be 3 people are deceased from this storm, and several homes were damaged, and you can see that in the video there. This is an EF2 tornado that was confirmed in Pickens County, Alabama over Saturday. This happened Saturday, this Saturday severe weather event that moved through the southeast. There were 5 confirmed tornadoes in the state of Alabama on Saturday.
Right, and so this also extended into Mississippi. So Mississippi is just getting, that portion of the country is just getting kind of just beat down by this severe weather. And
it seems early for severe weather to me.
Yeah, very early. We don't really supposed to really be seeing this at this time of year.
Not that we don't see it, but it's not very typical or very common this time of the year. So that's raising some red flags.
Right. So we're dealing with those warm temperatures, and I think those warm temperatures that we've been experiencing is contributing to this severe weather outbreak.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, in January, we're supposed to be dealing with winter weather, not tornadoes. So yeah. So I think there was 3 people who died in Alabama, and then there was other confirmed deaths in Arkansas, I believe in Mississippi as well, I believe. This is just in that state. This is actually not too far from where that dam is about to break.
Right.
So not too far from there as well there. So yeah, so that's basically the video that we have for portions of Alabama there. So, but of course, did you have anything else to go for anything else that we have in mind?
No, I don't think so. But I do have a game if we have time.
Okay, yeah, I think we have a couple of minutes. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go play a game.
Let's play a little bit of a game. Let's see what I've got in my bag down here.
We usually have the high alerts. Our webcast or web series always ends up in doing some kind of somewhat of activity there.
You go.
What is this?
This is a chalkboard.
Okay.
And we're going to see how well this works.
Black chalkboard.
There's some chalk. There's some colored chalk, and this is called Picture the Weather.
Oh, okay.
And so how this is going to work is...
I really like your makeshift ConchoValleyHomepage KSAN News box here. That's actually very creative.
Don't say it's a tissue box.
Yeah, no, it's a box.
Don't tell the viewers it's a tissue box.
The bosses should like this. This should...
Yeah.
Hey, there's a marketing scheme there. You should just like go and make tissue boxes of...
I think Ellen should send us some money or put us on her show because we put her GoFundMe on here, but that's another story for another time. So how this works is you're going to draw from the KSAN ConchoValleyHomepage.com box here, and so there's going to be a weather theme that you're going to have to draw.
So I have to draw a weather theme.
Show me, show the audience, and hopefully this isn't going to be like mirror image
on
camera.
So I'm going to go ahead and draw my...
Don't show me, don't tell me what it is, and then I'm going to try to guess what it is.
5. Okay.
So.
Okay, all right. So I was about to say it, but I'm glad I didn't. Okay, so we have, I'm going to go ahead and try to draw so people can see me drawing this here.
If y'all will comment, I'm watching comments. So
on what, go ahead. And if you're watching, feel free to comment on what you think I'm about to draw here. So we have... What is that? What is that? Can you see? Or
I can see it. I know what it is.
Okay. Yeah. So
wait, is there more to it? I feel like there's more. What is that?
Oh gosh. Okay. Okay.
What is
Okay,
that?
hold on. Okay, okay. All right, so this is supposed to be...
No, you can't tell me what it is. I have to guess.
It's a vehicle,
no, you
okay?
can't tell me what it is.
It's a square. This is going to get me fired.
Okay. I got funnel cloud and I've got tornado. I think we got that part down.
This is a square. I hear them laughing in the control room.
I hope our graphic system doesn't go down. You have to draw.
I'm trying to draw.
I'll leave
wheels.
this here. You can draw.
I'm trying to draw wheels here.
You can draw the 7-day tonight.
Okay, wheels. Okay, wheels. I don't know how to draw. Okay.
They look like big wheels. Are they big wheels?
Okay. What is this?
That's an excavator. A backhoe.
It's something that they use to drive.
To drive.
Come on, Aaron, you know what this is.
It's a tractor?
There we go, tractor. Okay, what's the entire thing? Tractor.
Tornado tractor?
No, like what's like the entire like read?
Okay, so it's a tornado picking up a tractor.
You're close. I'm just gonna go ahead.
Can you give me the points? I don't remember what I wrote.
Okay, all right. Okay, so it's a tractor and a tornado.
Oh, okay.
Tractor and a tornado.
Okay, my turn. Let me see what I can.
That was a little awkward. Okay, all right. We're gonna go ahead and erase this nonsense, and we're gonna go ahead and just kind of leave that erased.
Let's see how bad I am at drawing. I made fun of him for his drawing. Let's see how bad I am.
That was going in another direction for a second there. My bad. This is something that will end up on some like blooper, something like YouTube or something where it always happens. I think that's one of those things
I want
they
the
say.
colored chalk for this.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know. You didn't give me that option.
It was on the table.
I didn't know it existed.
I didn't know it existed.
It existed. Okay. So you have your thing. Okay. I'm tempted to look at your. You hide your strip of paper. Okay. All right. There we go.
So here we go. Let's see.
We have 2 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. A fire.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
That's it?
That's it. That's all it is. Okay.
All right. So my turn next. Okay.
Your turn.
Was it 1 for 1?
Yep.
I don't think you deserve that first one because.
You know. Okay.
Okay. So. Okay. So. Okay. This is hard. Okay. I'm getting the really hard ones here. So. Okay. So we're gonna start with palm trees. Oh, I don't even know how to draw that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start with a B.
You're not supposed to tell me what it is.
Well, I mean, I could tell you that. Okay, we have. Okay, we have a house.
I don't know what we're doing here anymore.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay.
We have a house.
Is that a house or Arizona?
I don't know. Okay, so we have this. This is a house. Okay.
Okay.
So we have I probably shouldn't be telling you. This is supposed to be a tree. And there's.
Okay. It's a wind-blown house.
Okay, close.
Okay, is it a house in a hurricane?
No, a house. There's certain weather conditions that's going on right here.
Straight line wind damage.
So yeah, we could say that windy scene.
Oh, a windy scene. Okay.
All right. Well, I think that sums it up for our activity. Before we accidentally draw something that's like inappropriate for TV news or a web stream here. I mean, I really didn't mean to draw. Because all I knew is that I was drawing, and then I heard laughter outside the studio because they're watching from outside in the control room, and I know.
have to pull myself together. I didn't expect this to be so funny. Where are we going?
I don't
now?
know. We're supposed. This is from Christmas.
Like
this is really from Christmas. That's not supposed to be showing, honestly.
Merry Christmas.
I'm trying to go to our social media graphic.
There it is.
There we
Here
go.
it comes.
Okay, hold on. Come on, system.
You're really gonna have to draw your graphics tonight at 10.
Oh gosh.
Okay, anyway.
So if you're ever, this is not supposed to be showing up right now. This is turning. Okay, speaking of tornadoes, if you are in a vehicle during a tornado, you might want to get out of a vehicle. Joey,
that computer's not making a good sound right now.
It's because it's the sound from the graphic. It's like the sound of the tornado. You can always follow us on Facebook at Chris Ramirez KSAN on Facebook. I'm also at Chris Ramirez WX on Twitter.
I'm meteorologist Aaron Ayers on Facebook, and I'm Aaron A_WX on Twitter.
This concludes our episode of CV Weatherfront. Join us next time, next Tuesday, where we're going to do this all over again with a somewhat different activity towards the end. Hopefully it's a little bit more appropriate for work. So thanks for joining us. We'll have a good night.